then there's these two babies, which are obvious. I'm pretty sure they're mollies. Don't think they're platies. But they're much smaller than the third batch of baby mollies that we had. And there were about a dozen of those. But they were visible, and these two are barely visible at the moment. I mean, you really have to look close and look. It's a when they move, it catches your eye type of thing. It's not you see them swimming around, or you could see them if they're stationary. And even then it can appear, it's sort of, oh, I saw something move out of the corner of my eye, and you look a bit closer and it's sort of, it's a dead leaf bit floating around or something like that. But there's definitely two of them in there. Oops, that's not what we need to do. Let's back up a bit. I don't think I have it loaded, but I did have a safety weight last time. We're using this one, the adjustable weight, which is really, really handy because I can tailor it to what I need. Now, I don't have the adjustable weight or the safety weight mod loaded. It's basically a weight with extension arms to the side that cover the in front of the driving wheels of the tractor. And it's curved. So if you hit a bale sort of diagonally on, it will push the bale sideways to clear your tractor wheels and line it up for a pickup trailer or a wrapper. I should probably look into reloading that. Said I'm not sure if I've downloaded the mod again or whether I forgot to, or if I just haven't included in this playthrough. We do have a lot of variable weights though. No, the Lindner's carrying one, this is carrying one, the Axion has one. I think we have a weight at the store, but it's a fixed. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, it's the fixed 1100, and that's really for when I go shopping and the tractor does struggle sometimes with weight, and the Johnson trailer doesn't like attaching to a weight. Attaching to a weight hitch, so we kind of don't do that. So the rest of the family aren't due back till 1 o'clock. I kind of want to be at the point where I've had my lunch by that point. They're all having pizza at the place they went to. So the story there is we have a couple at church, and the husband is seriously ill. He has been in intensive care for 2 weeks. He was admitted with COVID and problems and ended up with COVID, double pneumonia and some other condition that he picked up while he was in the hospital. He has, I think the right side of his heart is having issues. His liver is high enzymes and his kidneys have packed up. and they're finding blood clots in his legs because he hasn't moved in. I think it's getting on. He hasn't moved in 4 weeks. So he was at their local ICU, and they wanted to move him and they couldn't because he was in such a bad state. But they got him to the point where, okay, we can chance moving him, and they flew him down to Ann Arbor and University of Michigan Hospital, where they have more staff at their ICU than the hospital he was in. So, yeah, okay, fine. He's now in an induced coma, because it really is that bad. The doctors kind of gave up hope on him because he's been in ICU for 2 weeks, in addition to the 2 weeks he was in the hospital before that. And typically, once you go past 2 weeks in ICU, it's bad. So anyway, he's got 2 kids, and his wife's just holding on. So anyway, so yeah, they're doing the best they can, with lots of help from the church. But there's a activity centre in town that is obviously closed due to COVID. But the owner knows about this family's current predicament. So she said, we're going to open on Saturday just for the kids at church, specifically for this guy's kids. And we'll be serving pizza and everything else. But don't tell anybody because they're still under lockdown due to COVID. So they're not allowed to open, but they're probably kind of pushing it in a bit that, well, this is a private event with my friends, so it's not commercial. Everybody's here, knows the risks, etc., etc., which doesn't stop people phoning the police and them having issues, or her having her business license revoked because breaking COVID restrictions. But she's not charging for anything. The time in the venue is free to everybody attending, but only church people and their kids or related kids can go. So we've taken the foster kids because they're kind of related, and they're all getting fed for free. So, yeah, nice lady owner. Yay, thanks for that. And hopefully she's still in business when the COVID restrictions come back. And my wife, Mrs. Ose, has already said that because she's done this, she's more inclined. We don't live in that town anymore, so it's not quite so convenient going down there. But Mrs. Ose has said, "Oh, I'm going to be taking the kids there more often because of what she's done, because that's a nice deal." So, and return of the May. Good afternoon and welcome to the stream. And yes, I did notice you just in the middle of a story. This farm is treating me good. We're learning about clover, and oh my goodness, how much we produce. How much was it? 128 bales from this 5-acre field. So, don't think the sheep are going to need 128 bales of silage, so we will be selling a bunch of this. Actually, how much do the sheep food? Oh, 297. 128 bales is 4,000. So that's total all the food that they eat. The clover silage, they meeny, miny, mo. I would guess the clover silage is about half of what they eat. So in an entire year, all of our sheep will eat half of this field that we've wrapped. So I'm not too worried about selling some of this, I guess. I'm not too worried about converting field 3 into something other than grass either. Now the difference is with clover we are definitely only getting 2 cuts. We planted this field first day of spring, and we're now first day of summer before we can harvest any of it. I don't know if leaving it extra days after it matures makes any difference, and we might find that out in fall, because full time we're going to have arable crops as well as the clover to deal with, and obviously we're not going to be raced to cut the clover because we'll get another cut in. We're definitely not going to get 3 cuts because it was, at least I don't believe so. But the grass fields, and I ploughed up and replanted field 3 and 9. So, and the grass fields have been ready to mow for about 2 days now. So grass does grow faster, but it doesn't yield as much. At least my gut tells me grass doesn't yield as much. I guess we'll find out about that later. Okay, I'm going to need a tedder. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, baling technology. This was 153. I suppose the easiest way to figure this out is money. What did we buy? What did we sell? So new vehicle 620. We lost we bought £280,000 of new vehicles. Oh no, sorry, yeah, about, wow, what's that, 70. £270,000 of new vehicles, but we've spent 600,000 messing around, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. I should probably have taken the time out to drive the vehicles that didn't work for us back to the store and selling them there, because you get the 20% extra. Yes, we are playing this with a multitude of stuff going on. This is the farming agency version of this map. So we have Maize Plus, we have the manure system, we have anybody else want to chip in? So all of the stuff that was native to that. We have seasons. This map has its own season geo, so we're playing with this map's season geo. The Oxygen David base version of this map does not include its own geo. So you need to use something like Hereford geo to approximate where this area on the Earth is. But yeah, we're playing with seasons. We're also playing with precision farming. what happened to Arthur? Arthur doesn't stream anymore, at least not at the moment. He sort of, I don't know, he's been switching between sort of, he doesn't mind streaming to he really doesn't enjoy streaming. I think for the most part he generally doesn't necessarily enjoy streaming. He prefers making YouTube videos. But his mum died the beginning of this year and left him a big house, and she was at least a partial hoarder. So it took him about 2 straight months to clear out her house, and she and they found mold in the basement, so they had to stop the cleanup until the mold was dealt with. Her house is now done. It's up for sale. I think he's doing sale by owner. And as soon as he sells that, he's planning to move, he's planning to buy a new house for him to live in. And Simone, his wife. So they will be moving to a new home after his mum's house sells. So he'll be house hunting. As soon as he's done the house hunting and bought a house, he's going to move all his stuff to his new house and then clean up his house, his current house, and sell that. So again, he's going to have less time, plus he's still doing all his other work and stuff. So he's got less time to stream, less time to make videos. He seems to be, on the most part, producing a YouTube video, I would say maybe 5 a week. This is not a multiplayer. I have spent the last week setting up a map that I intend to be multiplayer, and I will be hosting that on Fridays from about 8 o'clock in the evening to 10 o'clock in the evening. But we'll see how that goes. You will need to be friends of Arthur and on his Discord channel, because that's currently the Discord I'm planning to use. I am using Lawfolds with seasons. We will be doing the central farm, so pigs. And there are a lot of fields. And so, I might stream an introduction to the farm sometime this week. Depends on what else is going on. Because things for me have changed. We now have a 14-year-old daughter, and she's currently grounded from computers and TV unless we are watching the TV. So I should probably look into setting up my own Discord server and maybe setting up a Facebook group. It's not something I've really gotten into. Yes, joys of teenagers, but consequently I can sort of take 2 nights a week off, but when she's active, that tends to be I've got less time, less evenings to do things. I guess as summer comes around, I don't know, it seems winter there's not a lot of time in the evening, summer there's a little bit more. But I do not plan to do anything on Tuesday evenings, and I do not plan to do anything on Wednesday evenings, and absolutely nothing on Sundays. Wednesday evening is a church day. Tuesday evening is just, I'm having this evening off. from anything. So I don't even play games offline on Tuesday evenings. That's good. Yeah, I mean the thing with multiplayer servers is it costs you money to set them up. So the plan is I will be hosting the farm on my PC. Initial limits are 6 players. We'll get 6 players running. We'll see lag, response time, what issues we might have, and gradually increase the number of players. And obviously if I increase the number of players, I have to increase the number of tractors I have, because everybody needs a tractor. I think for the most part I'm not using much in the way of equipment mods. I have activated the class DLC and the Grimmer Potato DLC, but outside of that everything else is free mods, although at least one of the mods is not available on ModHub, so I need to figure out a way for to get that to people if they can't find it. I think it's on a subscription. It's not a subscription site, but a site with a create a profile and password. So you're assured that the only people accessing the website are people, and they don't charge you for it, but there's less likelihood of bad stuff. Yeah, I need to figure out how that Google Drive thing works. I haven't looked at that. It's not so much of me not burning me out. It's a me not pissing off Mrs. Osa and having an uncomfortable life. So there is a selfish motive in me not burning myself out. Now the other thing this year is I am planning on, now that our basement is reasonably habitable, we have a safe flight of stairs going down and a closet under the stairs that we can store stuff in. And we've had the skirt around the bottom of the house sealed so that it's holding temperature a lot better. I mean, when we moved in, the basement aggregate temperature was about 45 degrees, which did mean that if you turned hot water on the north side of the house, it was running through 45 degree pipes, and so it took a little bit of a time to actually get warm water out of the tap on that side of the house. That's improved a bit. I think the basement is now average of 55 degrees, which is going to be chilly during the winter, but it's kind of comfortable during the summer. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. We have, because we had the basement all sealed, everything is in the centre of the basement. So I have a lot of furniture rearranging to do over the coming weeks. I think next weekend we're fairly clear. We're not going to have the kids over, so Mrs. Osa's planning on us doing some furniture arranging in the basement. And after that is done, I'm planning on starting building a model railroad, and that's going to be something I spend time at over the summer. Now I'm kind of hoping that I'll have a better time of it than most of the guys who do YouTube videos in the UK, since they tend to do them in a loft space, and so they have horrendous problems with the lofts, below 40 degrees during the winter and above 80 degrees during the summer. So the only time they can actually work on their railroads is during spring and fall. And that level of temperature change can adversely affect the model itself. There was one guy who had a really, really nice layout, and a couple of years ago he started suffering some serious train derailments. And when he got his camera right down at the track level, it looked like a freaking roller coaster, because during the summer the track was heating up and during the winter it was cooling down, and the whole thing just ended up so badly buckled, plus the wood was buckling due to the extremes of temperature. So I'm hoping that because our basement doesn't get painfully hot during the summer and painfully cold during the winter, it's fairly stable, it's partially underground, that I will have less of an issue having a model railroad down there. But we'll see. So I will be buying some very expensive wood, because that's now worth almost as much as gold these days, and starting on the baseboards and such. So again, that's going to be something that occupies my time on days when I'm not streaming or playing Farm Sim or Warships. What am I doing with all these bales? Yes, we kind of look okay. We're getting to the end of this. Let's say we had 128. 30. Oh, I missed one there. So turn around and say, oh, there's one. Oh, there's another one. I'll line up on the northernmost one. And there's another one past that one. So we'll swing this around to the left. We'll grab that one. And I'll do the south side of these trees and come around it with the wrapper on the inside of the turn. So hopefully I've wrapped all of the bales that are grass. And any that I discover that aren't wrapped and are clover, they can go with the clover bales that we've already accumulated up at the top. But as I said, at least the next 6 days of summer we have 0 in the way of rain, which potentially could cause a problem with the crop states. Because right now, that's pretty much good for all our fields. We have potatoes here, beets here, triticale here and here, and sunflowers in 1 and 2. And then these 2 fields are our clover fields. We got some weeds. There were weeds in the fields we just cut, so no big deal. But these are all growing. Obviously, these 2 were planted earlier than these 3. But I'm not seeing any... I think they jump to a harvested state if the crop dies. So because it's going to be very dry over the next few days.